Alright, so I got my flowers out, some ribbon. We're going to put this guy here. But I'm going to start with the ribbon. I'm going to run this guy from one side to the other, right on the bottom of this. So I have all the embellishments on the page that I decided to do, and then of course you can see the stitching on both the outside and inside of the flap, and then I also did stitching around the outer part of the base page. So now we just need to do our flaps. So get some white cardstock. I am using, let me grab some white 12 by 12. And let me set this aside somewhere. Alright, so the length of our photo mats are going to be 7 inches, and let's go ahead and do 7 and then one little tiny mark, leaving us about a 1/16 of an inch around to have a white border. So we're going to do 7 plus 1/16. And let's do 2 of these. Let me mark it because I want them to fold together quick. Got my pencil. Just to make sure that they're exactly the same. Well, I lost my mark. I think alright, I see it now. There we go. Because when we fold them, I just want to make sure that they're even from left to right. So get out your scoreboard. I'm we're going to lay it on the long 12 side, and we are going to score it at, alright, I forgot to press record, so mine's already got the score marks, but I'll go through it again with you. We want to put it on the 12-inch side and score it at 5 and then 1 notch over. So what I'm doing is 5 and then 1 more notch. And then once you score it, take it, fold it over on that score, bring it all the way down, and again score it at 5 and 1 more notch. And you should be able to take this little flap and fold it down on top of it. And we need to do that twice, which I already did by accident. And then put that up and grab, well, I used a 12 by 12, so I had these scraps. We're going to take it and we're going to do 7.5 inches. I'm sorry, ignore that. 7 1/16. And then it should already be 5 inches wide. So explain what I'm trying to do. So this little tab here and this little tab here, we're going to take our 5 by 7. We're going to put this tab underneath it and glue it down. So let me just grab my glue and we'll do that real quick. So the 5 by 7 that I just cut, go put it all the way right up to that score line. Check side to side that you're not hanging over too much. There we are. So when you put it, you have one clean piece. Now take our second one and put glue on your tab. And then we're doing the same thing with the opposite side. Just put the edge all the way up to that score line, check left to right to make sure everything lines up. So now, let me put this all the way, well, that's as far as it goes. So now we have 2 flips, like so. So we'll have picture mats on this side, the bottom here, and like such. So to help do it confusing, you take it and you can see the little lines from the flaps. This is the bottom. Now usually on my picture mats I do not do any stitching on them, so I'm going to go ahead and put paper on all of the flaps on both sides, and then you do yours and then we'll be back. Okay, so I have my pages done. What I did was, you see all the blue, so here's our bottom piece, that has our two little flaps. I just put a design paper on the top flap that you're going to see once this opens, that you're going to see here. And that way it's 9 flaps, so that's a lot of design paper. So I went ahead and did a light blue color for all of the other flaps. So, bottom. Let's go ahead and take our, let me figure out our glue. I was going to say score tape, but I don't know where mine is right now. So let's take our glue or our score tape. You know, I already posted on YouTube the first 2 or 3 videos to start this tutorial, and I kept getting that it was copyright laws, and I couldn't figure out what it was talking about until finally I realized it was picking up the music in my background, and it was doing copyright laws, and it wouldn't play it or let me show it in certain areas of the country. So I don't know, that was odd. Alright, so I want the photo mats to be kind of centered. I'm just going to guess. More than welcome if you want to measure it. Make sure that my bottom paper is straight. I just want it to peek out underneath before I lay it all the way down. Looks a little crooked. There we go. So I'm going to press it down here. Pull out my flaps. Give it a good press down on that bottom page. Make sure it adheres. Alright, so now we have 9 places for pictures. And then this will go down. And then our little bow tie to put it back together. Okay. So I actually do need my score tape. Let me find it. Alright. I don't know what happened to it, but I did find this large 1-inch. So I like to do score tape around the edges and then glue. So we're going to go through and do that and then go ahead and set it down in place. Okay, sorry, I had to stop the camera abruptly. My dogs were carrying on and barking. So I have mine in place and all secured down. And so for our next page, I've picked my paper that I'm going to use. And again, I'm going to put it in place to draw my line so I get the exact size that I need. So we're going to mark it there from left to right, and then mark it here. And the reason why I can't remember if I mentioned this. The reason why I put it down on the chipboard to mark it is because sometimes your fabric that you have on the edges is thicker in some places than the other, and I just want to make sure that I get everything covered and looking nice. So let me cut that real quick. Alright, so if we look at the pink album, we have a flap that goes this way. So let me set this aside. We got our page. And we're going to grab some white cardstock. Let me check, see if this one's wide enough. No. We'll get a new sheet. So what we want to do is, let's do it like this. When you're looking at a regular 8.5 by 11 page, we are going to measure over 5 1/16 and make a mark, and then that's where we're going to cut it. Okay, then we're going to take out our scoreboard. And with it long-wise, we are going to make a mark at 7 1/16. So it's the little mark between 7 and 7 1/4. If y'all could see, so 7 and the little mark that's right next to it. So we're going to fold this. Now we don't need this much of a flap, so I'm just going to cut it down from the score over 1 inch. So put your score line on 1 inch and then cut it, and it just gives you a smaller little tab there. And this guy is going to go down like this. So the paper that I've chosen for my flap is this. So we're going to go ahead and cut that down to a 5 by 7. Yeah, come on. Just get my little tab off. So we are going to do 5 and then turn it around and do 7. And I'm going to do 2 of them, one for each side of the flap. I forgot where we were at. Did we do 5? No. Okay, so it's alright. So another 5 by 7. There we go. I'm just gonna double check that it matches up on my flap on all sides with the little white border, about a 1/16 of an inch. And it does. So I'm going to go ahead and take my design paper and I'll go ahead and stitch around all 4 edges. And then for the one on the back, just the paper itself. I'm going to use this side. These little tigers are cute. And just stitch it on all 4 sides. Alright, so I have my first page stitched all around the edges, and then I pulled through the threads from the front and put that down. And this is my back. And I stitched around it, same thing, pull my threads through and put that down. So we need to put our closure. We're using a ribbon closure again. So I'm going to say, let's just do 2 7-inch ribbons. Yeah, that's not going to be enough. 10. I hate them if I make them too short and they're too hard to put in a bow. It annoys me. So these may be a little bit longer. We'll just get it taken care of. Alright, so on the back we want to about center. I'm just going to put some glue. And put down our ribbon. Then we take our back and we are going to glue that down. Okay, and we'll go ahead and put glue on our flap. And I'm putting it about 1 inch. Let's see. Yeah, about 1 inch from the bottom. Then we want to take our ribbon and straighten it and flip it over. Put some more glue for our other piece. And I'm just going to put a piece of score tape. I just found my score tape this morning. Oh, here it is. Keep it in place and then I'll pull the backing off of it later when we go to put it in our book. So when we flip it over, we should have a piece that goes across. Alright, on mine I am going to use again at the bottom and put some flowers and so forth, and I'll just get all that ready. So I have the front of mine decorated. I use from the sticker sheet of the paper collection, I put a white cardstock behind it, and then I have this little brown wooden word sweet that I got from Michael's a while back. So we're going to do the folds again for our pictures right in here. So go ahead and get 2 12 by 12 sheets of cardstock. And we're going to cut it at 7 1/16. Both of them. And then we're going to cut at 5 1/16. No, I'm sorry. We're going to score it first. So on the 12-inch side, just like our other one, we're going to score it at 5-inch and then 1 notch over. And we're going to fold that in half. And then again, 5-inch and 1 notch over. It should be exactly even with this edge of the paper. And we're going to do that to both of them. Alright. We have those two, and then if you did use a 12 by 12, you should have an extra piece that's about 5 inches wide. So we're going to cut it at 7 1/8. Sorry, 7 1/16. So we're going to take our little flap and put glue. Take our one piece, hear it down all the way to that score line. And the same thing, excuse me, for our other side. And then I'm going to go ahead and cover mine with our, let's see, it's going to be like this. And I'm going to go ahead and cover mine with some designer cardstock. Well, I seem to have run out of the blue cardstock that I was using. So I'm just going to do one of my design pages on the top, and then later I'll go back and add the blue cardstock to match the other fold outs that we did for the first cover page. There we go. And we're going to take our pad, or our page, and I want it, let's see, to peek out some. So we're going to take the back, put glue or score tape, whatever you wanted to use. Let's see. I think that's cute right there. Try to make it straight. So just like the other one, we'll have 4 that fold down and 4 that fold up. And then this one. There we are. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put score tape around the outer edges. And there we are. So for our next page, let's see here. In the baby girl, it has a large fold-up flap. It comes down to about right here and goes up. But on this paper, special delivery that I have from Doodlebug, it came with all these journaling parts. So I'm going to do this one a little bit different. I'm going to, this is the page that I want to use, so I'm going to put it up here and make a mark where I want to cut it. There, it can work better. So I'm going to cut each one of these out so I can get exact sizes. So I have mine set up. I want to use these cutouts, so I'm going to go ahead and we will make a top flap, which is similar to the pink one. So take some white cardstock. This is 8.5 by 11. Put your left side even with the left side of your design paper, and then make a mark matching on the right side. It's just in, I mean, my paper is 10 inches exactly, so just in case your fabric on your cardstock of your page is different than mine, and we're going to cut that, and then get your scoreboard. Come on. And we're putting at the top, that's the 8.5 side, and we're going to score it at 1/2 inch. If you think that this is, if you're not using the same paper, and of course you think this is too big of a tab, by all means, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Go ahead and design it how you want your album to be. Alright, so this is going to fit on top of here. Alright, so I am going to go ahead, I may have to cut these down just a little bit. Yeah, for them to fit. Let me go ahead and put everything down, and then we'll go through it. Alright, so I have my top flap done. I didn't do stitching because it's all individual cutouts, and this is what I chose for the back of it. Now I did do stitching around the bottom page, and the closure that I used is a little swing tab. You can go ahead and, if you don't have any, go ahead and do a a ribbon closure. I have, let's see, I have some little baby pins that I thought would be cute, but they ended up being not big enough. Let's see. Those little guys, and actually I totally forgot I had these, but they look like they're about the same size. Whoops. Oh, they're even smaller. Oh, okay. See, That's the problem of a crafting hoarder. I do have plenty in a big size. I forget. So that's what I'm going to use. So let's see. Let me find a brad that can match it. What I used in the other album are these little clear tabs. I have them in a few different colors, but the brown and the black didn't really match a baby album, but that's what I used in the other one. So let me find a brad that would kind of coordinate with it. And then we'll go ahead and, I think this little guy will do, make sure he fits. There we are. So get something to make a hole in your paper. So what I like to do is put it about where I want it, and there's going to be journaling here, so I don't want it to get in the way. So I'm going to put it off to the side right here, about that much, and then I'm just going to take a pencil and mark it if I can find. Here it is. Then I have this little auger, so I am going to just punch a hole. You can use whatever you can find, scissors. There we go. So we put that back. Get our fastener and put it through. Almost made my hole look, almost made it too big. And that's how we have our closure. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do my flowers probably in this bottom corner, and then we will move on to the next page.